Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the NJ Show. It's been a good hot minute since we've seen each other. How is everybody doing? Are we live? Let's double check that we're live and that everybody's here and that everybody's active. We are live and we are active. How is it going, everyone? It's great to see all of you. I know it's been a bit since we streamed. Last week was not very volatile at all. This week, however, we have got a lot going on. And there are a few things to discuss, by the way. So look, get your comments in. Give us a shout. Let me know that you guys are alive. We've got just over 20 people here. I'm sure that number is going to grow as we continue the stream. But for those who are tuning in right now, give me some comments. Let me know that you guys are here. All right. Let me know that you guys are alive, surviving this bear market. I'm going to give you my thoughts on Bitcoin in just a moment too. We're going to do some TA. This is not just a storytelling episode. We're going to do some TA as well. And we're going to talk about bits and bobs that are going on in the crypto space. So without further ado, let's kick it off. Let's start straight with Bitcoin. All right. Now, look, with Bitcoin, I like to start on the higher time frame. Okay. I really like to start on the higher time frame. Let me just check that the audio is doing good. Okay? I really like to start on the higher. There we go. The audio is great. Fantastic. All right. Cool. I can see some of you commenting already. Great to see everybody here. Keep the comments coming in. I like to see the comments flooded. That's what I like to see. So keep the comments coming in. All right. Now, look, with Bitcoin, let's talk about Bitcoin a little bit. All right. Now, with Bitcoin, over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about this range. All right. This particular range here with the orange lines, I've been talking about this range and I've said, you know what? We need to start preparing ourselves for coming back into this range because this is kind of the area where I really think price is going to find its bottom. And I'm not talking about a local bottom. I'm talking about a proper bottom for Bitcoin. I'm talking about something along the lines of this. Okay. Something like that. I think we are approaching the absolute bottom for Bitcoin now. All right. We're getting very, very close at the very least. All right. And in terms of where we're looking to go after this, I think it's time to start looking at the accumulation period for Bitcoin. And another thing that we're going to look at as well is, for those of you who have been watching all the previous episodes that we've done here, all the live streams that we do, one thing that we've been focusing heavily on is transitioning from the bear market into the accumulation period. So for those who haven't seen my market cycles video, definitely check it out because we talk there about how Bitcoin operates. You've got a bull market, you've got a bear market, you've got an accumulation period. And now we're finally getting that area now where we're going to start looking at accumulation. So let's break this range down a little bit and let's try and identify what we're seeing here. So on the weekly, the range looks very clean. Okay, you can see why I've chosen the range levels that I've chosen. If we look here over to the 2017 price action, you'll see here we've got the 2017 high, which I've marked out in black. We've got the initial high that was made, right? This is the actual high that was made in 2017, not this one. This is the deviation high, right? So I've taken this little chunk here, and that's going to be my range. All right. When looking at this range, you can see in the past, what did we see here? Over here, this was the consolidation. This was the main consolidation that really got us going. This really triggered the bull market. Okay. So this consolidation naturally is what I'd want to see above a range high. So it makes sense. Now, lo and behold, fast forward into 2022, and we're kind of seeing the same thing, aren't we? We're seeing something very similar here. Look how messy and choppy this area is. And that's exactly what I was looking to see. All right. I wasn't expecting a bounce from this area. I wasn't expecting beautiful price action. It's exactly what I was expecting. This horrible, ugly looking price action here where we take out the subs. Everybody's getting bullish. We dump right into the range. Now that's perfect. We've got the first part of the scenario done. Okay. As we wanted. We predicted it here on this channel. We said that we were going to come into this range. We're here now. So what's going to happen next? All right. I'll do the shout out in just a moment, by the way. Keep the comments coming in. I want to see more comments coming in before I do the shout out. All right. Now, if we break this down a bit more, we go into the daily, we can see that there are multiple parts of this range which we can use in order to fuel our trading. Okay. Now, from a daily perspective, it's true. There's not much we can see. There are two key areas that we're looking for. All right. We're looking for the top here. We're looking for the range high here. And we know that this range high, we're going to see some kind of reaction from this range. We have to see some kind of reaction from this range high because this range high here, we've already explained how important and crucial it is and how it's played us in the past. All right. So if we were to get to here, what does this come in at? 17,750-ish. I'd expect to see some sort of rejection from there. All right. But before we get to 17,750, we've got another level that we're closer to, and that's the mid range. That falls in at roughly around $14,500. All right. And 14K for Bitcoin, 14.5K, 14K. We've got to start asking questions here as a crypto community. We've got to start wondering, is the low potentially in? At 14K, you've got to remember if we've dumped from 70K, 14K is very far away from 17. We have to start considering that the low is in. All right. Now, it's going to take a little while to understand how to trade that low. All right. Because if the low is in, then there are a few things that we need to pay attention to. There are a few things that we need to see to say, you know what? I think I'm going to buy Bitcoin now. What did we see previously that gave us enough fuel to buy Bitcoin? And if we look here, we'll look at the COVID crash, okay? It was really when Bitcoin broke around 10K that we said, you know what? We're going to have to go long, all right? We're probably back in a bull market. These lows were defended right here. This low here, it held. This is event driven. This was COVID, wasn't it? Right? Soon as we got back here around this area here, 10K-ish, it was all shoot out. Now, the thing about this area here, the thing that interests me the most about all of this price action that you see here, and the main thing to take away from it, right, is everybody had a chance to get on board. All right? Everybody had a chance to get on board. And this is the thing that's really keeping me calm throughout this bear market. Yes, price is going lower. It's true that we're losing money, and I know a lot of people are hurting. However, one thing that we can say is that Bitcoin gives you the opportunity. When the low is set, it doesn't just snipe in and then wick up. It doesn't do that. It gives you an opportunity to buy the low. If we go back to here, we look at this area here, right? How many days was this? This was 132 days, a better part of 3 months before you had a chance to buy Bitcoin. All right. So now, given that, I would not expect to see Bitcoin do something along the lines of a V reversal where it would do something like, I would not expect that. All right. What I would expect is ugly price action like this, maybe like this. Very boring, very grindy, very ugly price action. One like that. That is exactly sort of what I'd expect to see from Bitcoin, because the shorting scenarios for Bitcoin, you've got to remember, if you are a bear right now, you are a bear at the bottom. Okay, I'm not saying that Bitcoin can't go lower from here. I do believe it can, and we're going to go into that in just a moment. However, and obviously we're going to talk about Genesis too, aren't we? Which is an important conversation that we all need to have. So if we're going to have that conversation about Genesis and potentially it being the catalyst that will send us lower, of course we can go lower. However, all right, there is a big difference between going short around the 50K level and going short around the 16K level. You have to remember that Bitcoin being under $16,000 right now, what would you have given for that last year? What would you have done for that last year? Of course, you would have been a buyer in the bull market. Yeah, I wish Bitcoin was at 16K. Now Bitcoin is at 16K and I see a lot of fear in the market. I see a lot of greed. Okay. Now, going into accumulation, the market is not going to give you the satisfaction that you're looking for. Okay, if you do manage to catch any of these levels here, it's going to be a long and strenuous waiting game. All right, look at this. And I do appreciate your patience. It's really good to have everybody here again, by the way. I just want to say that. It is really fucking good to have everybody here. It's good to see everyone. Smash up the likes, by the way. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, or at least wait till the end of the video and consider subscribing. It's really good to have you guys here. We'll do the shout out in just a second. Bit of a smile on my face. Yeah? Right. So any of these areas here for Bitcoin, even if you were to get a fill into any of these areas, you're going to have to play the waiting game, the patience game. All right. That's not a problem. That's not a problem because when the bull market comes, some of you have already seen it. Some of you have already seen the power that comes into this market when this market starts ramping. You can only believe it once you've seen it. If you haven't seen it before, you're going to sit there contemplating whether or not it's possible. But I've seen people go from absolutely nothing to millions. I've seen it with my own eyes. Friends, I've got friends who grew up with me who should probably be in jail, if I'm really honest. I won't say any names, but they focused on this. They waited during the accumulation period. They were patient. And that is the key signal in this game. If you've got patience, you're winning. If you've got discipline, you're winning. I don't see you losing. Yeah. Now they got millions. Even throughout the bear market, they've still got 3, 4, 5 bar chilling in the back pocket. They're doing their thing during the bear market, being patient. And those people will be the ones that buy the low. Now, anyway, I've given you the levels, right? Let's dig in a little bit deeper to see, what could Bitcoin potentially do now, right? So if we go a little bit deeper into the 4 hour, we've broken below the range high. We know that we've broken below the range high. What are we going to be looking for here? Now, for me personally, I can see a little channel here. I don't know about you guys, but I can see something like this. And I did share this with Crypto Mac, I think, a couple of days ago. I spent a lot of time with my brother. So here we go. Something like this. Yeah, that looks about right. That looks parallel. Okay, so I'm seeing something like that. Now, when I'm looking at something like this, a formation like this, it makes me wonder, are we going to the mid range or are we going back to the range high? Now, I'll be honest with you. I can see on Twitter a lot of people are going for the longs. Okay. And it's true. It's true. There is a long setup here. There is. I can see it. Hold on. I think it would be this low. Or maybe not specifically this low. Bear with me. It might be here. Yeah, here is good. Here is good. So, what we'd be looking for here, right, is if Bitcoin pushed up here. Oh, hold on. If Bitcoin pushed up here, broke market structure, consolidated, got back here. As soon as it gets above here, it's a ride back into 17,750. All right. If Bitcoin doesn't do that, I'm going to assume that anything on the upper boundaries of this channel here will be a short back into this area here, ultimately targeting 14,500. Now, I want to be wrong. Okay, I want to be wrong. Everything is happening a little bit faster than I anticipated it would be happening. Okay, this is where I'll stick my hands up. I thought that the price action that we're getting now, we'd be getting this price action closer to February, March 2023. But we're getting it now. So that is a very bullish thing that I'm saying because we are one step closer to the low. We're one step closer to accumulation. The closer we get to accumulation, the closer we get to the next bull market. Arguably so. All right. However, given that, I know that this is still Bitcoin and this can still chop around. If we get to the range high before we get to the mid range, I imagine this will be a very big trade. If we get back to this range high here and we start showing signs of rejection, I imagine the short to 14,500 will be a sexy one. All right. 18.5%. Okay, so if you were going to look at anything in terms of building a trade scenario or building a trade plan, I would highly recommend waiting for the key macro levels. All right, so these levels that I'm showing you here, I've picked these levels from the weekly and the daily time frame. I can't give you 5-minute scalps because I'd not be doing my job. All right. My job is to make sure that you guys are winning. I need you guys to be DMing me on Twitter or atting me on YouTube saying, hey, I won today. Thanks for the shout. These are the key levels. If you're new to trading, especially, focus on the macro key levels, the levels that you'd be expecting to see some sort of reaction. If from here we go into the 30-minute time frame or the 15-minute time frame, you're going to start painting a different story. So what you got to do from here is, that sounded a bit weird. What you got to do, homies, is you gotta take it from the bigger price, the bigger price. Sorry. You've got to take it from the higher time frame. Okay. So the key levels on the higher time frame, you can see I'm only playing within this area here. I'm only playing within this area. If we get to 17,750, that is a shout for a short. Okay. Invalidation would be clear as hell. right above here. Maybe we can even swing fail this high here. That would be even more perfect. I think that's a bit too perfect because everybody would win that trade, right? But it's very possible that we do that. Now, the other scenario that I've got here, right, and it is another long scenario, is if we were to get back to this level here, okay, and we gave some sort of deviation, like this would be a beautiful short as well back into 14,500. This would be a beautiful short back into 14,500. All right. And this is the level. This 14,500 is one of the first levels that I'm personally looking for to call the absolute bottom for Bitcoin. Okay, I know that there are arguments for 5K. I know there are arguments for 3K. I know there are arguments for many, many prices for Bitcoin. However, I want you guys to just be logical with me. I'm not shilling anything. I'm not being overly bullish, but just from a price action perspective, all right? Considering we were at nearly 70K, yeah, coming back to this level here at 14,500. This, for me, could signal the beginning of the absolute bottom before the next cycle. All right? Now, pay attention to that. So when we get to 14,500, you've got to think of it from an investor's perspective alongside a trader's perspective. All right? From an investor's perspective, if we were to get back to 14,500 and you believe Bitcoin is going to $100,000 like I do, right? I think it will go higher, but for the sake of YouTube, for the sake of today, I'm going to say 100K. All right. If you believe Bitcoin is going to 100K or more, you have to consider 14,500 being the first part of the low. All right. Trading is not just filling one area and then selling and one area. It's not like that. There are multiple targets. There are multiple entries. It's very consistent. It's a rotation. That's how trading works. A very, very quick rotation. You're always moving. Even though you're behind the chart, you're always active. It's very hard to explain. Check Trader SC to try and understand what I'm saying here. Okay. Now, if we were to get to 14,500, for me, that's a potential buy. I can see here on this particular chart, we've gotten close, but not quite. Now, honestly, I do believe that the 17,750 scenario is more of a probable one. However, on the lower time frame, it does look like 14,500 is the next target. Now, if we were to lose 14,500, if we were to lose this area here, that would be a different story. Then I'd be looking for any deviation back above 14,500 to short it back down to, unfortunately, 11K. Okay? Everybody's going to have their own predictions for Bitcoin. Everybody is going to have some sort of a prediction for Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin going to go? What the price is going to be? Where the generational bottom is going to be? Why is my camera doing that? However, we're not really going to know exactly where the low is. What we can do is we can use higher time frame context to mark out where the low could be for logical reasons. Okay? However, I'll be really honest with you. I'll be really, really honest with you. I'm going to be heavily buying soon. Okay? Soon. I'm willing to even buy higher. All right? It's not the low for Bitcoin that I care about. It's the low of the bear market that I care about. There are three areas. There are three areas of a market that you need to consider. All right. And I want you all to pay attention for just a moment. Like and subscribe, by the way. Do like the video. Get us to 100 likes, even though there are not even. Why is my camera doing this? Okay, we're gonna have to do it like this then. So there are three areas of a market that you've got to be paying attention to. All right. In the bear market, it's not about shorting the top. It's about being able to identify the trend. And I'll give you this example, all right? Now, of course, talking in hindsight, everybody is a genius when you talk in hindsight, right? But I'm going to give you the blueprint anyway. So if you're looking at a bear market, I'll give you an example, right? Being able to short, let's say, for instance, from here. Let's say, for instance, you didn't short 70K, but from at this point here, what does this come in at? 53K. Bitcoin falls below 53K. It gives us this retest here. And you say to yourself, oh, you know what? Bitcoin is now in a bear market, in my opinion. I'm going to start shorting this. Look at all the gains that you'd have made shorting this market from here all the way to where we are now. That's 73%. Of course, you guys know this is on the weekly time frame. You'll make multiple 70% going on the way down, because in the bear market, you money goes away from you. That's the psychology of a bear market. You lose money. In a bull market, money finds its way to you. I can't explain it. You have to go through it to understand. You have to go through it to understand. Money finds its way to you in a bull market. So for me, I don't care about the absolute low for Bitcoin. I care about the absolute low of the bull market. If we've got market cycles, if we've got a year of bear market, a year of accumulation, and a year of bull market, then if we've only got a year of bull market, I want to capitalize on that bull market as much as possible, because in a bear market, money is leaving, liquidity is exiting. We're losing money, as we're about to talk for Genesis right now. And we've discussed other things as well. 3AC, Luna, Celsius. We've seen money exiting the market, not only in crypto, but in traditional markets too, if you think about it. All right? Now, if money's exiting the market during the bear, then surely during the bull market, it's going to be the reverse. Arguably so, right? Money coming into the bull market, I want to be there for that. I want to be within the meat of that move. I appreciate many of you are looking for the low on Bitcoin, but a lot of you guys don't realize that you're not even in sync with Bitcoin itself. Many of you are looking for the low on Bitcoin because you're looking for the low on altcoins, especially the altcoin USD pairs. Agreed? I'm sure that many will agree here. All right? Buying Bitcoin, buying Ethereum is a shout. It certainly is a shout, especially if you want that 10x. But we know that altcoins have the ability to print not 10x, not 20, not 30, but 100 to 1,000x. All right? To give you some context or some clarity, Floki did 800 and something X for me in the last cycle, and that wasn't my only play. All right? However, in order to catch that Floki move, it wasn't because I was a genius. It wasn't because I knew that it was going to happen. It wasn't because I had insider information. It was because of the timing of the market. So what I'm looking for now, when I look at Bitcoin here, I'm not looking to see, oh, where can I long, where can I short it? Where can I find the next trigger? Where can I do this? I don't give a fuck about that. I really don't care about that. For me, I care about being in the bull market. Is my trading analysis in sync with the market? Not is it the best? Not is it as good as this trader or that trader? Am I making 40R a day? I don't give a crap about that. I care about, is my analysis in sync with the market? Is the low in for Bitcoin? Is the top in for Bitcoin? If Bitcoin is going to start moving to the upside and trending upwards, are we going to go back into a bull market? And if that is what's going on, then that's what I want to be a part of. All right? Because that's when money finds its way to you. And that's when altcoins become risk free. Not risk free, but risk off. No, risk on. Risk on. Okay? The market is telling you we can go risk on now. And if we can go risk on, believe me, bro, sis, there are many, many industries within crypto that are going to boom like crazy. Whether it be the meme industry, layer ones, layer twos, oracles, privacy, DeFi, you choose, you name it. We're going to cover all of them on this channel when the bull market comes back. As you guys can see, we're already one step closer. Now, I've given you the levels to trade off, so mark these levels off as we move over to Ethereum. The levels that we've got here is the 2017 high, which comes in at $20,093. The range high that I've got here for the range that we've broken into is 17,750. The mid-range comes in at 14,500, and the range low comes in at 11.2K. So mark those levels out, okay? Look for reactions from those levels. You don't need to be a 5-minute scalper. Okay, believe me, I did not make money from scalping the 5-minute time frame. I did not make money lying about making 30, 40, 50R. You can't not have a car and then tell me you're making 50R. It doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I'm talking about real money and real gains, and I'm talking about real cars and real watches and real this and real that. It's materialistic, I know, but that's why we're here. It is what it is. You can be a good person and like nice things. That's my take on it. Moving over to Ethereum now. We're seeing a bit of the same. All right, we are seeing a bit of the same. Now, I'm not going to mark out the exact range that I did for Bitcoin with a 20 2017 high and 2017 this and the 2017 that. What I will do is I'll look for the range that we are operating in. Where is price trapped? That's always the first question that we ask ourselves here on the NJ show. Apologies for the little noise in the background there. When my sister's at home, the hazelnut lattes, they just come. So for Ethereum, I want to try and identify where is price trapped within. And the beautiful thing about that is we've got the 2021 bull market to do that for us. So we can see here, I can see a range low immediately here. It's not that difficult to find the range low. There we go. Okay. And we look for a range high, which comes in at roughly around about, I'd argue here. That is where we are trapped for with Ethereum right now. Okay. And honestly, look at this picture on the right hand side and please try to compare it to the left hand side. This is not an office meme. All right. For those of you who watch The Office, this is a real thing that I'm talking about. For those of you who are bearish, bear in mind, not a pun, no pun intended, that you are being bearish at critical lows. I'm not saying that Ethereum can't go 50% lower from here, but you are bearish here. Just to give you some context. Now, what I'll do is I'm going to do a little quick shout out. So bear with me for 2 minutes. I want to say hello to the family and then we'll carry on with Ethereum. All right. So we've got Phil, the Flying Frenchman. Would it be a stream without you, my brother? We've got Frederico here tuning in from the office. Don't mess with Frederico. We've got Shane here. Nice to see you, Shane. Thanks for joining the show. Aromatic, good to see you. Giles, my main man, good to see you. We've got FOMC tomorrow, by the way, Giles. So make sure you're there if you don't mind. It'll be good to have you there. The numbers can come up as we're watching FOMC live, so do tune into that. All right, we'll have that tomorrow at 6 p.m. UK time. We've got Lily here. Good to see you, love. Very good to see you, sis. Thank you for joining. We've got Stephen here. We've got Stephen M Crypto saying okay. Watch later. All right, Stephen's not here right now, but good shout. We got Marta. Good to see you, sis. Good to see you, my love. Good to see you. We've got JMO in the house. We've got Music Man. What's up, NJ? Hope you're doing well. Midnight here, watching in Australia. We got some passionate people up here, you know. We got some passionate guys. Aya Eunice, thank you very much, my love. Appreciate you, wifey. Titan Gyro, good to see you, my brother. What would you advise someone with 33% cash portion to do? Buy directly, wait for bull market confirmation? Well, look, that's a fantastic question, and I'll quickly answer that while we're on the stream. Honestly, what I would say is do not rush. There's absolutely no reason to rush. If you feel like you're about to miss it, it probably means that it's going to go lower, all right? From an emotional perspective, that is. Bitcoin gives you the opportunity, and so will Ethereum. Accumulation may have just started, in my opinion. All right. So you have time. Hafuel, my number one. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you who are in the chat, do get your comments in. Your comments are really appreciated. I do see them. I do shout them out. I do read them out. I do engage with you guys. It is an interactive show, and do respect the moderators. Okay. We've got Phil. We've got Hafuel, we've got KAR, and we've got Giles in the chat. So do show lots of love and respect to them, okay? Who else have we got in the chat? We have got Woggle Groove. Nice name there, man. Woggle Groove. Nice to see you, brother. We've got Jay Moap. Good to see you, bro. We've got Sam Camille. Thank you for tuning into the show. We've got Stinkfove, always here. We've got Mio. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. We've got Hibby. Hibby sub to the channel. Big up, Hibby. Good to see you, my guy. Thank you for subbing to the channel. Appreciate that. Do subscribe to the channel, by the way. We just broke 5,000 subscribers. We're already on our journey to 6. So help us make it happen if you are new to the show. Fatih, good to see you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. As always, we've got Dark Trader here. We've got Ola saying subscribed. Nice to see you, brother. Thank you very much. We've got some more questions here about Matic. We've got Alex here talking in the chat. Appreciate you for tuning in. We'll do one or two more and then we'll crack on. All right. We've got N1 here talking about the Hustle music video. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much. And I'll do one more. Who have we got down here? I'll do this one. All right, cool. Here we go. We've got BRNKX. Hola, dog. Good to see you. Sorry if I didn't shout you out. Feel free to send in a super chat if you want to get your comment read. Thank you for those of you who are commenting, and do subscribe and get the video to 100 likes. All right. Appreciate you. Even if you are watching this recorded and I'm asleep or something. All right. Going back over to Ethereum, just bearing in mind before I before I break this down a little bit more, remember, if you are a bearish trader right now, you are trading the lows. All right, you are trading the lows. So if we look more deeper into Ethereum, what is the range low that I've marked here, and can we potentially go lower? So the range low that we've got here for Ethereum falls in roughly around $900. All right, now if we look at the previous price action, how low can we go for Ethereum? There are multiple cases for Ethereum, but one level that really stands out to me is this one right here, okay? And this level here falls in at roughly $490. Let's call it $500, all right? Looking at $500 for Ethereum, I don't think I think that's a bit of a stretch. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Why do I think that's a bit of a stretch? Reason being, because we have already dumped from nearly $5,000 to dump 10x. I'm not 100% sure that could happen. I will start taking interest in Ethereum if we get back to sort of 850, 900 and we hold. I will start taking interest for a shorter time frame trade. Now, one thing I want you guys to bear in mind, okay, in terms of accumulation, what do I mean when I keep saying accumulation? If this is the low for Ethereum, okay, one thing that we could look to expect, it's, let's say for example, if we put a let's slap a mid-range here, okay? Let's put a mid-range. It would be roughly here. That would be the mid-range. Okay? Now, one thing that I want to point out to you guys when talking about accumulation is what to expect when we're going through accumulation. Okay? What to expect. If we've got a few levels here, we've got this level above here, which falls in at roughly around $2,000. We've got the level below that falls in around $800 to $900. Hey, Trader SC in the house. It's good to see you, my brother. It's good to see you. This is his show. To everybody, show love to my brother in the chat. Everybody, show love to my brother in the chat. Show him some love. That guy is family. He's real family. You know, it's very hard to find people like that in life. And I happen to be one of the lucky ones. So show him some love. That is my teacher. Fuck me, bro. Trader SC. What are you doing, fam? You're dropping a super chat, yeah? Gee, this guy, bro. Wallah. This guy's. I love you, bro. I love you, bro. I love you, bro. Oh, I love you, bro. I love you. All right, going back to Ethereum. Now, in terms of accumulation, oh, love you, bro. Love you, bro. In terms of accumulation, what are we looking to expect? Now, the thing is, when it comes to accumulation, we're not expecting price to be so volatile, okay? What did we see before and what are we seeing now, and how can we compare it? In terms of accumulation, bear in mind that price can do this for a year. Price can just do this for a year. Now, what does that mean? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Now, for the scalpers out there, it's a very good thing. All right, it's a very good thing, because for scalpers who love to live on the 15-minute time frames, you're going to have some sort of price action every week. You're going to have maybe a trade or two every week. All right. Now, for those who swing, it's going to be very difficult, because if you're swinging, say, for instance, at the $900 level, maybe 850, say, for instance, you buy Ethereum here. Okay, and you say to yourself, well, this is a range low. This is where, price has established itself in the past. This is where it's bounced in the past. I'm expecting some kind of bounce now. Your target would be most likely the mid-range around this area here. Now, the issue with accumulation is that it won't come in a week. It won't come in 3 days. It won't come. It can take 2-3 weeks for this to unfold. All right. And we're looking at what, a 10% move, I think, maybe a bit more. Fuck me, that's a 37% move. All right, that's a very big move. All right. This can take weeks to unfold. Something like this, it could chill out here, no news even, and then it could start making its way back up to here. So you've got to start switching your mindset when looking at crypto now. All right. Remember the three segues. You've got the bull market, the bear market. You've got the accumulation period. We've had a very, very healthy bull market that was naturally not sustainable. All right, where we had multiple thousands of X's that were printed. At the same time, we had the same thing in reverse. We've had that bear market now, and we are officially a year gone. All right. The top was, I think, November the 10th. And now we've been a year. All right. It's been over a year. So I would imagine Bitcoin and Ethereum finding their lows, establishing their lows within the next 3 to 6 months. I think we are intermittently away from the low. Honestly, I do. All right. And the more I see people calling for 3K, 4K, 5K COVID lows, the more it reminds me of myself when I was in 2018, 2019. You know who it was that called the low? It was not the low, sorry, the high. He caught the low as well, but that's a different story. It was SC that caught it. Me and somebody else, we were looking to short. We were shorting. We said Bitcoin is at 3K. No, it's going to go to 1K. Trust me, that's the fair value for Bitcoin. What does Bitcoin actually offer? This was my mindset. The bear market, it really does get to you. It really starts twisting you and how you think and how you operate. So if we do go back to 800, 850, you're going to start questioning yourself. You're going to start being a bit worried. Should I actually be buying this? You know, why am I buying it? Am I buying it to trade it back to this mid range here, which falls in at roughly 1400? Am I buying it to fall into that, or am I buying it because I think Ethereum's going all the way back up? That's the first mindset you need to address. If you was to buy here, the natural target would be the mid range. That would be where you'd be looking to see some sort of reaction back to the downside. Okay, you got to ask yourself, what does a macro low look like? Where have we seen it before? What can I see? What can I use? What data can I use to target the future macro lows? Okay, there are many examples on this chart alone. Many on this chart alone. Let's say, for instance, we take this $500 level. All right, and let's say we only want to be bullish. We only believe in bull markets after this $500 level. Ethereum breaks the $500 level, retests it as resistance, and then sells off. And now you say, okay, NJ, I appreciate that $500 did not hold. Okay. I don't really know how to trade that specifically. I'm not really somebody who can spend 12 hours at the chart. I'm not somebody who understands intricate price analysis. So what I'll do is I'll keep this $500 level there, and I'll say to myself, if Ethereum breaks above $500, I think it will be a signal that the market wants to start moving again. Okay? Keep up. Now, we look here. When did it break $500? It broke $500 here. Okay? Retested it here, sold off here. So let's take this point here, and let's move all the way here. It took 861 days. Now, don't panic. I'm not saying it's going to be 861 days from here. This was part of the bear market too. This area here was part of the bear market too. Let's move this along a little bit further. Maybe, let's say here. Here is good. 342. Okay? So 1 year. Now, if we look again, you've got bear market. Accumulation. And then once we break above, bull market. Understood? I'm sure everybody understands. All right. Now, all we are doing at the moment is we are positioning ourselves for the next bull market. Do not lull yourself into a false sense of security that allows you to believe that on the 5-minute time frame and the 15-minute time frame, if you've just started trading, if you're just getting used to it, that you are going to be some successful millionaire, hundreds of millions, 8 figures, X, Y, and Z. It doesn't work like that. 7 years is the magic number. All right. If you're putting the effort in, 7 years is a good number. But if you want a little fast track, crypto can be the way. You've just got to ask the right questions and learn the right things. Okay. So me personally, I'm not really interested in trading up and down consistently. I'm focused on looking for the low now. That's all that's on my mind. Everybody's calling for lower prices. Every week I see lower prices that are being called. Nobody actually is having a conversation about what a macro low should look like, what a macro low should feel like, what a macro low should do, what it should, how we should behave, etc., etc., etc. So look, it could be here at 800, 900. It could be here at 500. I couldn't give a shit. All right. No one's really going to care when it's trading above 11K. All the people here, whether it's in this chat, whether it's on Twitter or wherever, all the people here will be focused on why didn't I buy when it was at 800? It's done a 15x from where I was thinking I should potentially buy. And that is the kind of convos that we're going to start having in a year and a bit. All right? I think so anyway. Just my opinion, not financial advice. Get this stream to 100 likes. I love you all. Let's move on to the news. All right. Now, the first thing that we've got to talk about before we move over to Genesis is, do we have any events that are happening this week that may sort of give Bitcoin some insight into what direction it wants to go? So for instance, Ethereum right now is trading at $1,127. It hasn't quite hit the level that I'm expecting it to hit, but it doesn't have to. It can go up before it goes down. It doesn't have to retest this level first. It can retest the mid-range first if it wants. All right. But first, we have got tomorrow FOMC. All right. FOMC will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. UK time. So we will be coming live at 6 p.m. UK time to watch that. Okay. So make sure you're tuning into that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to make sure that you will be notified for the FOMC stream tomorrow. We'll be coming live at 6. It should be a good heap of fun. Could it be the catalyst for the next low? Okay, I do believe that this leg that we're having down now, unless Bitcoin starts pushing up like crazy from here, from right here, I do believe this next leg down will be the us entering accumulation. It feels like it did before. You know, it feels like it. That's not really enough to come on a live stream and tell multiple people, you know, it's the low. It feels like it. What I can do is I can give you my advice, my insights. I can tell you what I went through, what I saw, and whether or not it's looking similar or the same. And to me, it feels the same now, and it looks the same. I'm very confident in another bull market, and that's a very bad trait to have as a trader. All right, it's a very bad trait to have as a trader. You should never trade in absolutes. You should never talk in absolutes. But I am very confident of another bull market. I really, really am. Okay, so FOMC tomorrow. Tune into FOMC tomorrow, 6 p.m. We're going to talk about Genesis now, all right? 40 minutes of TA talking done. So I know a lot of you guys are new to crypto, so you guys might not know what Genesis is. Genesis is a trading firm. It's an institution essentially now. They've been around for years, all right? My time. Genesis goes back to my days. In fact, even earlier potentially, all right? Think of OTC desks, think of trading. It's mainly built for institutions being able to trade big size, all right? Like one contract will be like 25 Bitcoin, all right? One contract. So imagine you're trading 100 contracts. You're trading, 2,500 Bitcoin moving up and down in the market. You need liquidity for that. You need an institutional type trading firm to be able to handle that. Now, the problem is, you may have seen it, but Genesis warns of a possible bankruptcy without funding. All right. Now, this is something that we're consistently seeing throughout the bear market. We're going to start seeing it less, but we are seeing it. All right. We are going into some type of recession. The traditional markets still aren't going great, but here we are again. And the next company on the list now is Genesis. So what are Genesis saying? All right. What are Genesis saying? They're saying Genesis has struggled to raise cash, fresh cash, for its lending unit and is warning of a possible bankruptcy. All right. That's not good. That's pretty bearish. Genesis is having a hard time raising cash for its lending unit, and it is warning potential investors it could possibly file for a Chapter 11 if it's unable to do so. The firm has faced liquidity crunch since FTX's bankruptcy filing earlier this month and has been trying to raise at least $1 billion, including from Binance. Now, we're going to talk about that in a bit too, because Binance is a name that you want to be associated with these days, all right? If you know CZ, if you're with CZ, you're probably on the winning side, all right? What I like about CZ is he gets the dirty stuff done. He does it in front of you, and he does it in a way that's so elegant that he doesn't face scrutiny from the mass public. All right? Very, very odd string of words that I've put together there. But that's how I personally feel about CZ. And that's not because this episode is sponsored by Binance. Please check the links in the description below, especially the Telegram. The Telegram link is the first link in the description. Click on that. All right? You should be joining the Telegram. It's for free. All right. And if you haven't signed up to Binance already, please do consider signing up using the link in the description. All right. Now, Genesis have done the right thing. They've moved over to Binance. They've tried to request for Binance to assist them. We'll find out what goes on with that as we go into the stream. Let's carry on with this. People familiar with the situation confirmed to the block that Genesis is struggling to raise emergency funds. $1 billion isn't easy, let alone the 9.4 that FTX was trying to raise to bail themselves out. All right. Noting that its fundraising target has been reduced from $1 billion to $500 million. Now, this is the thing. This is very weird. If I need a pound for, I don't know, some chips, a portion of chips, I say I need a pound. I can't then come to you and say, actually, bro, all I need is 50p. It's not going to work. Or 50 cents, $1.50. Same sort of analogy. All right, it's not going to make any sense. If a portion of chips costs a pound and you say you need a pound, that makes sense. If you say you need a pound for a portion of chips and then suddenly you need 50p for the same portion, that screams red flag. That's red flag number 1. All right, red flag number 2 is coming. Don't worry about that. Now, 2 sources added that DCG is unwilling to sell parts of its venture portfolio. DCG is also not looking to sell Grayscale, a significant moneymaker. So we'll go back over here. We'll see what does Genesis compile of. Hold on a second. I think it's in the About section. Built for institutions. Here we are. Trusted partners. I want to show you guys who Genesis. Here we go. Now, Genesis, they work with some pretty big people. All right. You've got CoinDesk, which you guys should all know. CoinDesk is a fantastic site. You have all the crypto news here. I mean, this is not a paid shill. This is just something I know. That's CoinDesk. You've got this is them, the DCG. You've got Grayscale. Grayscale wanted to be the first ETF for Bitcoin. The first ETF for Bitcoin. So these guys are fucking huge. Pardon my language, but they are huge. All right? They're not small. All right? These names, none of these names that you're looking at here are small. All right? They are big names. All right? So that's who Genesis are. Now, this is what makes me wonder as well. How can you lower from $1 billion to 500 million? Anyway, moving along. All right? Genesis Global Capital, the lending business of Genesis Trading, last week temporarily suspended redemptions, aka withdrawals. Now, this is where it gets sticky. For all of you guys here and girls and everything in between, for those of you who know enough about crypto, whenever you start seeing withdrawals being suspended, that is when you start shitting your pants, all right? That is literally when you start panicking, because typically the pattern that we've seen in this bear market, especially more so than the previous bear markets, is that when a company tends to pause withdrawals, that's when we start getting the domino effect of everything collapsing and everything going downhill. Now, we've seen that they've paused withdrawals and new loan originations in the wake of FTX's collapse and the earlier Three Arrows Capital implosion. At the time, parent company DCG said business operations at DCG and its other wholly owned subsidiaries were not affected. They say that, but if we move over to Crypto Cred, let's look at the timeline for DCG. The timeline goes as follows. On November 8th, they say they've got no material net credit exposure. On November 9th, we lost 7 million. On November 10th, okay, we've got 175 million, but it's in FTX. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that. Imagine I told you, bro, you know me, yeah, I got 100 bar, you know, but it's in FTX though. It's just in FTX. I just got to withdraw it from FTX and then boom, I got the 100 bar. Imagine how... I'm sorry, I can't say that with a straight face. Oh, sorry, no withdrawals are working. We can't withdraw anything from FTX, therefore we're going to pause our own withdrawals. November 17th, okay, you know what? We're going to need about $1 billion. I know it says 7 here, and I know it says 175 here, but we're going to need about $1 billion. All right? All right, you know what? Fuck it. We'll go bankrupt 4 days later. So the pattern is the same. The pattern really is unfolding in the same sort of manner. Now, if we go over here to Frank's Twitter, we see here, sources tell the Block Crypto that trading firm Genesis, which has also been struggling to raise emergency capital, that's the keyword, emergency. I can't even click on this blood clot. Yeah, here we go. To shore up its lending unit's liquidity profile, has slashed its raise target from 1 billion to 500 million, as Bloomberg reported. It faces potential bankruptcy without the funding. Now, I know that these guys have reached out to Binance. That's what I do as well. All right. That's pretty much what I do. And I can see some of your comments here. You guys are commenting on it. I love that. I really love that. Get your comments in. Get your comments in. Big holds, says Aromatic. I do see big holds in this. Agreed. We've got a block here saying, yes, panic long storm for crypto. Elong said, panic long storm for... Yeah, okay, I see. I think the accumulation is going to be a pretty panicky place. Not panicky, but is crypto dead? Is the question that everybody's going to be asking throughout the whole accumulation period. That's my opinion anyway, all right? Ryoki is saying here, yes, and they say crypto is meant to give you control over your funds. It does, as long as you've got the keys to your wallet. A lot of people, they're too lazy to hold their keys or store their keys. So what they do is they leave all their funds on an exchange. Now, if you're leaving it on Binance, I would sort of understand. I do kind of get it. If you're leaving it on MetaMask, you're a champ. If you're leaving it on your ledger, you're a champ. But people will trade on platforms that don't have that kind of credibility, and they'll leave all their funds there, and they'll just end up being one of the unlucky ones. Okay? The thing is, when it comes to storing funds, I do get it. I really do get it. Like, who would have seen the fall of FTX? Obviously, you're not BitBoy. BitBoy saw it. And as much respect as I have for BitBoy calling FTX out, how much does he get wrong? You know, I don't mean to be a prick right now. I'm not trying to shit on my man's donut, but he got a lot of stuff wrong too, which is why it felt like the boy who cried wolf. You know, he called it, no one really listened, and he's like, well, I told you guys. Well, you get so many things wrong anyway. No disrespect to you. I respect you as someone who reports what's going on in crypto, as somebody who values crypto, as someone who believes in crypto, etc., etc., etc. But because you got so much wrong, it, you know what I mean? No one would have seen what would have happened with FTX, you know? But SC says it's okay. I can shit in my man's cereal. So, you know, it is what it is. All right? See what I had for dinner yesterday. All right? Probably the coffee this morning. Minor. Genesis, we have no plans to file for bankruptcy imminently. Our goal is to resolve the current situation consensually without the need for any bankruptcy filing. Genesis continues to have constructive conversations with creditors. Okay? Now, the issue is, the issue is here is they're not telling us how. They're not telling us how. They've paused withdrawals. They've lowered the amount that they need to not go bankrupt, but they're not telling us how. And that is the issue that we've got. That is the issue. Now, because they're not telling us how, all I can say is don't keep your money on that platform. Don't keep your money on that platform. It's impossible. We are at the stage of crypto right now where we're squeezing the grape dry. Okay? Imagine you've got a grape, a small grape. You squeeze it. You see all the juice falling out. All right? You keep squeezing it. You see drops. You keep squeezing it, you're holding, it's not dropping anymore, but you're squeezing, you're hoping for that one final drop. And that is what's going on in crypto right now. People are being bled dry. And that's what a bear market does. That's the objective of a bear market. At the end of a bull market, where everybody's showing off their brand new watches and their cars and their this and their that, nobody says a word. In the bear market, if it's the opposite, then surely by the end of the bear market, you're meant to be broke as fuck. You're meant to be broke as hell. All right, that's the objective of it, an objective complete. Accumulation, if bull market is there to entice you, to show that you can make money, and the bear market is the reverse, then the accumulation period is designed to remove you from crypto. Because the bull market is there for those who are prepared. The bull market is there for those who are patient. The bull market is there for those who really put their hours in and study what crypto is, how it operates, and what it does, what it has done over the last 10 years. All right? The bear market is there to destroy you completely. The gains that you've made in the bull market, remove them. And the accumulation period is there to make you divert your attention away from cryptocurrency, to put you in back with the sheep, the people that can't see the problems that we have in the financial system currently, the traditional financial system. All right. So the accumulation period, as boring as it will get, it will be there. It will do what it's designed to do, which is to get you to look away from crypto. And this is just another one of those stories that are coming along with it. Okay. The news will always be behind price. Okay. That's why TA is so obsolete. All right. Now, we've got an update here saying drop dead date for Genesis bankruptcy decision is Wednesday. So that's tomorrow, and it falls along with FOMC. Now, imagine how what's the word I'm looking, ironic or coincidental. How coincidental would it be if we got a bearish statement tomorrow from the FOMC meeting and we got this hack? I think it would be safe to say that our levels, our higher time frame levels, are probably going to get tapped in some way, shape, or form. Also, on the other side, if we did get a less bearish FOMC and Genesis were okay, maybe we get a push up back into here, into that 1420 level. Maybe we get that. It's possible. All said, albeit, sorry, you have to remember that this would be the level to watch out for. This would be where you'd get your reaction, wouldn't it? So don't just long blindly. Don't just keep longing and longing and longing. Have your take profit levels ready. Okay? Moving along. So, as we've already discussed, Genesis go to Binance and say, hey, Binance, we know that you're sort of leading the space, you're leading the industry. We know that you've bailed out people before. We know that you were even willing to buy FTX. Can you help us out? Binance turn around, CZ packing his 10-incher. And I'm not talking about one of them flaccid 10 inches. I'm talking about one of those 10 inches that can really move. You know what I'm saying? Motion in the ocean type thing, right? He says no. And if he says no, then it means no, right? Binance said no to an investment in Genesis as the crypto lender seeks to raise $1 billion emergency loan, according to the Wall Street Journal. Binance turned down the deal, citing a potential conflict of interest with Genesis' business model. And you see, that's a red flag again. Listen to this. They're not telling us why they're lowering the emergency that they need. Telling me I need an emergency, I need £1. Then he's like, no, I need 50p. Relax. Oh, Binance aren't going to let us borrow the money. Binance aren't going to bail us out. And Binance's reason is because of Genesis's business model. So this is the same domino effect. It's the exact same thing that we're seeing, that we saw with 3AC, with Luna, with Celsius, with what was the other one that we covered the other day? FTX. It's the same thing. It's the same exact pattern. Oh yeah, there's a flaw in the business model. There was a hole here. It caused this to happen in the future, and everybody's lost their money. So look, if you've got any money on this, which I doubt anybody in this has, because it's more of an institutional play, like maybe SE has, like, I don't know, 100 Bitcoin on there or something, some cheap change, then get it out. Now, let's look into this a bit more, and then we'll wrap it up after this. All right. So after crypto falls and indicated it would seek a emergency cash loan, major potential backers said no to the investment. Binance turned down the opportunity to invest in the lending firm owned by the digital currency group over a potential conflict of interest with the Genesis business model. A source familiar with the old matter told the Wall Street Journal. Genesis also sought an investment from Apollo Global, another VC that you guys might know. Yo, I'm seeing in the chat Fillet O Fish. Fillet O Fish is seriously underrated. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why we're cutting this combo short like this, but wow, Fillet O Fish is good. I don't even like the white sauce and the cheese. I remove the sauce, I remove the cheese, and I put ketchup on it. It's mad. I have like 3, but with the chips, get the barbecue sauce with the chips. Banging. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry that we got NJ and the footy on the other screen. Work on it hard. Well, you like the tartar sauce, yeah? You like the tartar sauce. My sister likes the tartar sauce as well. I prefer ketchup. I like blood. You know what I'm saying? I like to see blood. I like to see my meal like an animal, like I work for it. You get me? Anyway, so I digress. We went from Genesis to Fillet O Fish. It's just so good to see everyone. I'm so happy to be back behind the desk again that I just want to stay on stream for the whole day, but I can't, unfortunately. I can't. Make sure you guys are liking the video, by the way. We're at 57 likes. We need to find a way to get to 100, okay? Make it happen. Fillet O Fish is nice, though. It is. Fillet O Fish is banging, bro. You need to have like 3. Do you know, especially when they give you hot ones? Like, sometimes they give you these ones, right? But they're hot ones, fresh out the, oh my goodness, And when the chips are like crunchy, crunchy. Like, you bite into the chip and it makes the noise like ASMR thing. It's hard. So anyway, let's wrap up with Genesis. All right. I'm a bit rusty today. I'm so happy to be with all of you lot that I'm just changing the conversation every 2 minutes. So Genesis is still weighing all of its options and appears to be in no rush to file for bankruptcy, despite Binance declining to invest. We have no plans to file for a Chapter 11 imminently. Our goal is to resolve the current situation consensually without the need for any bankruptcy filing, which is what we saw earlier. All right. Now, obviously, this article here goes into a bit more detail as to why they're not filing for bankruptcy. However, I'm not happy with this because, again, if you read this article, you can find this on Reuters. If you read this article, it doesn't really give you context as to why they've, number one, needed the 1 billion emergency. Number two, why they lowered that from 1 billion to 500 million. And number three, what they're going to do with that money. All right. And also, if Binance were to invest in them, what would they give Binance back? Because at this point in time, if Binance are trying to operate on Binance, they're trying to buy FTX, if they bought a large portion of Genesis, that would ultimately make them the most dominant force in the space. Because at this point, they've got connects with Grayscale and whatnot. The amount of money that are churning in and out of Binance, it would make them a power that would have no redundancy. All right. I'll give you an example. If tomorrow we lost Trader SC, there's pretty much no one on Twitter that can do what he does. We'd be lost. We'd have to wait. We'd have to wait a couple of years until a new prodigy would come, a new young Trader SC would come, and he would have to build everything up. It would take like a decade to see that again. Do you see what I'm saying? There's no redundancy. So we rely on him to stay alive. We rely on him for his health. We rely on him to be active and online. It's the same thing with Binance. If Binance buy everything, then we're relying on them to stay stable. We're relying on them to be self-dependent. You know what I mean? This is why I kind of liked having FTX around, because it's not about competition, but it's about having two places to eat at. All right? If this one doesn't want to work today, no problem, because this one will. Crypto is diverse, but crypto will become less diverse if CZ buys everything. All right. So I'm kind of glad that this happened. I'd rather they die than Binance take over them. And I'd rather someone new come, a new thing come and build up and whatnot. We'll have a lot of new shiny toys in the next bull market. That's for sure. We'll have a lot of new shiny toys. Can you see the sunlight right there? Look, sunlight. Anyway. One thing I'll do to wrap up the stream is I'll talk about this, all right? And then I'm going to shoot. So JPMorgan officially registers cryptocurrency trademark. Now, this is bullish as fuck. I don't care what anybody says. This is bullish as fuck. We had some sort of news on this a couple of months ago, but seeing it now in this particular fashion gets me horny, man. Not horny, but excited. In a document retrieved from a granted USPTO application, JPMorgan has registered a crypto APTIY titled JPMorgan Wallet. Now, look, I'm asking you in the chat. I'm asking all of you in the chat. Why would JPMorgan want a crypto wallet? Why would they want a wallet? Let's think about it together. Number one, they need a wallet because they need to hold their coins. Number two, they need a wallet because they need to be able to hold, I don't know, USDT or USDC. Number three, they need a wallet so they can receive coins. They need a wallet because they might want to send coins. Now, all of this coming from JPMorgan, one of the most traditional firms that you'll find in the space. Why would they be investing their money? Why would they even be giving considerations into cryptocurrency? Cryptos for people like me and you, right? Losers, people who don't know about money, internet nerds, or this or that, or this or that. But they're paying attention now, all right? Because Bitcoin is now purely compared to the S&P. That wasn't the case in the last year. Not the last year, the last cycle. And the cycle before that, certainly not. But now Bitcoin is trading way more like a stock. Way more. And not just a stock, but the stock index. All right? Now, considering all of that, I know that there will be a lot of institutions that can see this accumulation period coming, because this market cycle theory, it doesn't just work on Bitcoin, it works on many markets. Sometimes it happens on the lower time frame. If you don't know, study Wyckoff. All of it is Wyckoff. All of it is ranges. Ranges, Wyckoff, they're very, very similar. All right? It's just about understanding the concept in a different way. All right. Now, seeing JPMorgan get involved in this and seeing that they want a wallet, they could have said, we're getting involved. We want to just purchase a crypto project and have some exposure to crypto. They're not saying that. They're saying we want a wallet. Do you know how much money these guys got? What kind of wallet are you looking for? This wallet is going to hold millions and millions and form, and even more so. Another interesting point I'll quickly add on to is, if they got a wallet, why would they not use one that's already there? Why would they want to build their own? Unless they were doing something that could potentially involve a bigger picture in terms of a crypto project. Now, we know that JP Morgan had links to, what was it, Celsius. Now, Celsius was worth $10 billion at the time. They crashed and was worth, I think, 1.9 billion. And there were rumors, there was speculation that JP Morgan could potentially come in and purchase Celsius off the owners, right? Because they would have the stability, they would have the financial backing to potentially take it back to $10 billion in terms of evaluation. Now, that didn't happen, did it? It didn't happen. And they were right to do so, because I'm confident that their analysts would have said, look, it's not that it's a bad idea. It's about the timing of when we're doing it. Timing it now in the sort of middle of a bear market, it doesn't make sense. If we were going to make an investment, the opportunity would need to reveal itself. All right. And not an opportunity that many will be able to get on board, but an opportunity would need to reveal itself. There'd need to not be many eyes on the space in general. All right. Because we want people to come in. We don't want people to already be here. We want people to come in. For those of you who are here in the chat right now, you obviously, you guys are the early ones, right? But for those who don't know anything about cryptocurrency, they're going to be the exit liquidity for the next cycle. It's unfortunate, true. You know, if imagine you're 6 months into the next cycle and then your friend's like, yo, what's this Bitcoin thing about, bro? I just signed up to Binance. What? Should I buy this? And you're like, yeah, bro, yeah. Should I buy this at $18? But you got in at 30 cents because you were early. That's how it's going to be in the next cycle. That's one of the drawdowns of preparing for the next cycle. There'll be so many people around you that are hungry for money. So many people around you that are hungry, and they're going to want to do something. But they didn't do what you're doing. They weren't here. They weren't in the middle of the bear market on a Tuesday afternoon studying crypto. They weren't doing that. Therefore, they're not entitled to those gains. But you are. All right. So seeing JP Morgan do this is a very, very bullish thing for me. I would love to see that. All right. And I think this is just the beginning. This looks exactly like accumulation to me now. Because in 2019, we were getting news like that too. 2020, there was a bit of a hold down because of the COVID crisis. Now, unless we get some sort of pandemic in 2023 or 2024, I do believe that the next bull market should be... I do believe 2024. I do believe the catalyst, the Bitcoin halving catalyst, should play out. I think it should play out. I'm not saying it will, it should. All right? Maybe the exit of the bear market might come then as well. All right? Worst case scenario, late 2024, but that's what I think. Anyway, that's it from me. That's your news. We'll be back tomorrow for FOMC. So like, subscribe, share it with whoever you know. Make sure you're tuning into the Telegram. I'll make sure that the link is in the description. I'll make sure everything is in the Telegram. All right. So get the likes up on this video. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. FOMC tomorrow at 6 p.m. Make sure you're there. Make sure you're in the Telegram. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Maybe we'll do an NJXO SC special maybe this week, if not next week. All right. Cheers, everyone. Goodbye. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. For those who did, thank you for staying. If you're watching this recorded, much love to you as well. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to this idiot. If you do like the content, make sure you are subscribing. All right. The journey to 6K has begun, and I need all of you to help me. Filet O fish bangs. Love.